Hey everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Kalekye, where love finds a voice. We're so thrilled that we are on episode 3 of season 2, proudly sponsored by the Truth Encounter Coaching Services. And I'll tell you this, if you missed out this past episode that we did where we were just unpacking parental trauma and dating relationships, you need to catch up because Agiso Oduno, who is the lead coach at the Truth Encounter Coaching Services, really helped me identify certain things about myself. And I learned things that I did not have any idea about. Number one, that the reason I'm a perfectionist, which I just thought is because, it's the way that I was taught to do things, is because of my parental trauma. You need to find out why. And that means I'm looking for a very perfect man. Whether he exists or not, I don't know. But at least I know it's caused by my trauma and I'm working on it. What's your trauma? That's a question right there. Did you also know that children can actually receive parental trauma while in the womb? Yeah, I learned that too. Please catch that episode. It's Conversations with Kalekye on YouTube. Check us out on all our socials at Conversations with Kalekye, and you'll find all the information that's out there. Let me tell you something. We are almost at 10K subscribers on YouTube. And I'm waiting for you to get us there. We're at 6 point something, almost 7. But I know we can get to 10K. So please, can you do the necessary and get us to 10K? Yes, yes, yes. I love that. You are willing to do it. Now, our guest today is a brave young woman who tells me she's just an ordinary Kenyan. But having listened to her just share a little bit of her story that I want her to share here, I know that parental trauma can actually cause you to be in a shell, and yet it is parental trauma that comes from the grave. Listen to me here when I say that. It can be that you lost your parent, but I'm not going to share too much. I will allow this thrilling, amazing, beautiful administrative assistant who is here to share a little bit about her parental trauma and what effects it's having on her while dating. And hopefully when Agiso Oduno is back, we will get to break down how parental trauma can also appear from the grave. Grace, this amazing, beautiful 30-something girl, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm great. And it's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for accepting to come and share your story with us.
It's a pleasure.
You told me you're an ordinary Kenyan and you've gone through different things in your life, but you're willing to share them.
Yeah, true.
So love and relationships, what does that look like based on how you grew up? Maybe you can tell us just a little bit about your background and how you grew up and how it's affected your perception on relationships.
Okay. I grew up in a very complicated, I can say situation, life, Okay, I was born, obviously.
Well, we're not going that far back, but okay, yes.
Yeah, so my mom died. I have no idea who she is. I never got to have a glimpse,
Did she die during childbirth or?
Yes, she died apparently after I was born, like 2 years later.
Okay.
And then she was sick. She died of HIV.
Okay.
Blood transfusion.
Wow.
And then, I didn't get to know her. I didn't know who my mom was. So my mom's sister took over and she raised me till I was 4. And she's the one that I actually thought was my mom. And then after that, she also died.
Oh, no.
And then now my grandma took over. Now she's the one who built me up. that relationship of a grandma and a grandchild, the only grandchild.
Understanding who a mother is became now her role.
Yeah. But now she died when I was 7.
Oh, Grace.
So they literally died like a lineup.
Yeah.
And then after she died, it's like everything changed. Because, I was spoiled. I was this favorite kid. My cousins were like, hey, they used to call me spoiled brat.
Because you were being taken care of with that extra care because your mom passed away when you were so young.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was the first grandchild she had.
Oh, right.
And then I took, my name literally, Grace Kabebere, named after her. So after she died, everything changed. I was taken by my grandma's brother.
Okay.
Here in Nairobi now. He raised me, so I grew up calling him dad. And then he had a first wife. They divorced. He married a second wife. Now, after that, that's where life changed. You know, you knew you're not related to all of them. You were taken in just like anybody else.
Yeah, because by that time you understood that this is
Yeah,
happening
I
to you.
did.
Okay.
Because, you know, they used to tell me, grandma will come, but she never came.
Oh, they didn't tell you that she had passed away?
I was young.
So when did they tell you?
I knew, you know, along the way, I knew she was never coming. After they took me in, I was like, okay, we need to leave, right? She was never there.
And you're not leaving?
Yeah, I never used to live the way I used to. The spoiled little brat I used to be. Everything changed.
Okay.
And then when I was in class 4, boarding in Molo.
Whoa.
So that's how life started. You know, I got to live in boarding school. Like everything was peaceful. You know, when you start boarding or you're like a tiny kid, it's even more fun. But now when I got home here in Nairobi, my relationship with now, I can call her stepmom because I normally call her stepmom,
Right.
was not good. It was like there was that rift. The first time she met me, actually, she was like, I don't like you, but you know, I'll try liking you.
Wait a minute. Hold up, Grace. Don't just say that in passing. She told you to your face, I don't like you, but I'm going to try?
Yeah, because, you know, I never used to know that. We went for shopping. You know, as kids, we normally know our sizes.
Right.
So we were arguing with her, this is my size. She was like, no, this is not your size. Then she gave in, she said, ispokutosha ni sawa. So yeah, it was my size. And then that's why she said, you know, I never used to like you, but nitaanza. In
I'll
Kiswahili,
try.
yeah, I'll try. So they normally say, mind what you tell a kid.
Absolutely.
Because that is what I already carry, like up to date. It's always the first words she told me. So the relationship was like, you know, when you tell me you didn't really like me, why should I put an effort to make you like me? You already
you didn't like me. And
Yeah.
what are the odds it will change anyway?
True. So yeah, our relationship was actually never good. She brought her sisters to Nairobi, so we were living with the sisters. I was also there. There was a house manager, but it was like I was also a house manager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to take responsibility. She had 2 kids.
Okay.
So it was like, it was my responsibility to like take care of them.
How old are you when you're being forced to do this?
That was after like, you know, primary, all of it, I was in boarding. High school, I was in boarding.
So now when you're back after that is when things are just totally different.
Yeah, now from high school, I was here in Nairobi, Mount Lavana. So the holidays, you know, I used to take responsibility to
take care of her children. Are these children she came with to the marriage? Or
no,
children she had?
She gave birth there.
Okay, all right.
So it was like, it's holiday, I have nowhere to go. Of course, I'm home. So I used to take care of the kids. Like, you have to cook breakfast. I used to cook breakfast for the tiny kid and feed her. You know, the way when like a kid burps, it's like you're scared.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
Nobody has ever taught you. You were an only child.
Yeah, and then when I get shocked, she's like, "Apana, unaweza mnyonga." So you know, it's even.
Stop,
I was even scared.
Oh my God.
Nile ako like, no, unaweza mnyonga, like relax, nini. I was like, I don't even know. The sisters were there; they were not doing anything.
The sisters are of age to help with a baby.
Over 28 years.
And you're still a teenager. You're doing this as a teenager.
Yeah, you know, it was like, okay, at that time, at first it became enjoyable because, okay, I can take care of them. But now it became more like, apana, don't do this, do that. Now I was like...
So you're being micromanaged every second.
I was like, what now am I supposed to do? But again, what can I do?
So how long did this kind of behavior continue? And what was he's your granddad because he's a brother to your grandma.
Yeah.
What was he saying? Did he notice that you were being mistreated?
He was never around. He traveled a lot.
Okay.
So I was left now with the family of the wife.
Okay. And everything was happening as all of that.
Yeah, all of them, they were there. It started with the tiny things, which actually was okay. I'm a big sister, I can do that. But then it exceeded to a point where, Grace, you have to clean. It reached a point I was told, you don't need friends for what? So I never used to have friends. I never used to go out. And then mind you, nimetoka form 4, right?
You've left Form 4?
Yeah.
You're at the point where you need to know college. What's the plan? Where am I going?
True.
Who do I hang out with?
So I used to stay home. Like, they would live even with the house manager. The house would be left messed up, clothes, dishes. But the time they have to come back, I was supposed to like clean everything for them to find the house like literally made.
But they left with the house manager?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it was always like, it reached that point where I was like, okay, it's okay. Maybe it's because I'm home. But now it became so bad where they started even speaking in the mother tongue. Mind you, I've lived with them all those years, so I can understand what you're saying. I didn't know my mom died of HIV. I got to know there.
They're the ones who said?
Yeah, they talked, so I had. I never used to know.
Grace.
So it was like, no, at first I was like,
did I hear right? Or is it me? Am I
that's why I asked them, as in, is it my mom?
Or who are you talking about?
Yeah, so I was told, you didn't know your mom died of HIV. And then I started asking around. I was told it was blood transfusion. That's why I never got breastfed. And yeah, it became like, you're in a house, but you're like an outcast in that house.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're like, you've put yourself like, this is my family. Like, I know no one else.
Right. And now you've been told no friends.
Yeah, because they're the only family I knew. They're like, the extended families, they used to have those grudges. So they never like connected or anything. We never met. So I never knew all of them.
These are the only people.
Yeah.
So Grace, let me ask you now that you've said, the father figure in your life was not there often.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything from the way that relationship they had with this stepmother was? How did that appear in your own relationships? Have you dated? Have you tried? Were you afraid? Like, what was the impact of just seeing, especially from your father figure?
I've actually tried dating.
Okay.
But it's really, I would be lying if I said I was ready to date. Because at that point, I was not in any mental state to like share, my feelings with someone else.
Right.
I had to take care of myself because at a point I left that home. It was so bad. I even thought of taking my life several times.
Oh, no.
Because I met someone. Okay. I met someone very important, a friend of mine. You can see her there. I actually call her my sister. She's the one who used to come like help me clean up. At that time I joined KU, but in uni you even have classes after 6.
Yes.
But when I get home late, it's like you had men around you. That's why you're coming
You've come
late.
from class.
Mind you, I don't know. It was so bad that even when there was jam, I just wanted to cry. Like,
because the trouble that's coming.
Yeah, especially there at Githurai. I used to be like, Aki, God, not today. Not today, really. So it was so bad. She used to come help me clean.
Because you'll find that there's still housework for you, waiting for you after you come from school. You've come.
Now, before school, in the morning, I had to take care of the kids, right? Like, prepare breakfast because I didn't. It was like a trend. I had to leave when it's ready.
So you first take care of all of that.
Yeah.
And don't get late for class.
True. But now she used to come, help me clean up.
Your friend.
Sort things out and then go to school together. So she's actually the only friend I ever made after school. And yeah, I'm always very grateful because let me tell you, Kalekye, if it was not for her, honestly speaking, I don't know where I would be right now. Because it was very bad at some point where, you're in the same house, but you feel abandoned, you feel rejected, you have no friends to speak to. Everyone around is like, That's life. So why should we give you attention to listen to you?
They made it seem like it's normal what you're going through.
We're
and
already
so,
schooling you. Isn't that enough?
wow.
Right? So, yeah, I decided to leave. I talked to my sister. She was like, actually, I want you to leave. She's the one who said, you have to leave. Like, my mental state was so bad. I didn't even love myself at that time. And then the problem is, when you look at someone, it's like they're doing okay. They normally say, she's doing okay, so you don't have to check on someone, right? So she was like, Apana, you're not okay. I decided to leave at night. Like,
You ran away.
no, I didn't run.
What did you do?
I packed my clothes. I didn't have fare. Mind you, they used to give me like 100 bob. Go to school, come back. No lunch, no nothing.
From where did you live at the time?
Muthaiga North.
And then you have to go to KU?
Main campus.
And no lunch money, no nothing money, and come back?
Just fare.
Wow. Okay.
So, what's funny, I'd only saved 40 bob.
I can understand that.
So I told them, I talked to a cousin of mine, and then she gave me contacts to my uncle in Ruiru, and I decided to go there. Mind you, we never had any relationship or talked. So I was like, as long as I'm leaving this house, that's it. I called my sister Lillian, and I told her, she was like, you leave, let us talk tomorrow, because she was in Kahawaskari hostels. So I went and told now my mom, give me fare, I'm going to Uncle in Ruiru. She told me, the way you wanted to go, just go that way.
Wow.
Me, I took my 40 bob.
And you found your way.
I walked to Roasters. It was 30 bob. So God saved me. Nilipanda those matatus those time.
And you went.
I went there. I called him. He told me, okay, you can come. So I went there. When you go somewhere, you think maybe it will be easier here. But he had kids. So, yeah, I just stayed for a bit. I was like, that semester, we closed school. So the next semester, I called home. I told them, can you pay for me the semester's fee? I called Dad. He said, let me talk to my wife. So, he didn't communicate again. I called now my stepmom. She said, you're not in the budget, but we will see. So that's how I
you ended up on your own.
Living KU.
Hey.
And yeah, my uncle couldn't. He said he has kids. So he even if he wanted to try, the kids were like, one was in universities, the other one in high school. I didn't expect much. I said it's okay. But I was in uni, right? I couldn't sit and just wait.
You need to finish.
Yeah, so I used to go to my friend Lillian, Kawaskari. I tried looking for, we tried finding ways I can at least go back to school. I tried applying help. I didn't get it.
Through.
Okay, so, the way I used to leave house, try find something to do, I think it didn't sit well with him.
Oh, so he thought you're doing other things, not
so
even him.
So he thought I was doing other things.
Weh.
And then I was told, it's high time,
You exit.
Yeah, so I did. I didn't complain. I think it's always about when you leave one place, you go to another, you're always ready for something else. Because I left the worst place. This is not like
as
that.
Bad.
Yeah, so I stayed with my friend for, I can say almost half a year.
Wow.
Yeah, she was very accommodating. That's why I'm saying she's no longer a friend.
You can call her your sister.
She's
because
my sister.
She was also on a student budget.
Yeah,
but
true.
she allowed you to stay.
And then I tried contacting other members. I didn't find anyone. Life became hard. I tried, she went back home after closing school, so I had to look for another way. We got a friend of ours. I think it's called Sunrise something estate. He was like, okay, you come stay. We're looking for something to do.
A dude?
Yeah, a dude, but he had roommates, ladies, so I stayed with the lady.
Okay.
And then that time, I don't know, for some reason, it was very hard to find a hustle. I really tried, it didn't work out. So I was like, this is not working. My mental state was like, you get to a point where you even regret, why did I leave? Maybe
I
I
would
could
have
have
survived
tried,
there.
finish school, then sort myself. But again, we sat with Lillian and she was like, there's no way you could have made it. Your mental state was so bad. It's even God. Because I told you, I tried a couple times. I told her later on. And it was like, possibility of me being here if I still stayed in that house was next to none.
Yeah, because if in just one holiday they said you're no longer on their budget, I mean, I don't think those people had you in heart. But I want to come now to how this particular story has affected who you are in relating beyond Lillian, your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a young, beautiful girl. There are guys who are going to want to hit on you. And I'm sure they have tried. So when somebody tries to hit on you, do you have a reaction of resentment? Are you afraid? Like, I'm just trying to get what it feels like, because your first establishment of relationship,
Yeah.
you lost your mom,
Yeah.
you lost the people who loved you and treated you right.
Yeah.
And then now you find yourself in a home with people who feel like they don't want you. So there's an element of abandonment. So two things can happen, and I want to know where you fall.
Yeah.
It's either when you meet somebody who's giving you attention, a guy, you cling, or number two, you're completely afraid. So where do you fall, and how has it been? Let's talk about that.
I can say that I shut them off. There's that wall. I don't know how I built it, but it's there. I think it was a way of, taking care of myself. Because one, yes, I'm afraid. What if I find this guy? Yes, let's say he's nice, okay? He's good, he's emotionally intelligent and all that. But what if he leaves?
Yeah, so there's a fear of being abandoned.
Yeah, there's a fear like, I don't want to. Yes, I'm a queen of like starting over. I know that one.
But you don't want to do it.
But
no,
not
you don't
in
want to do it.
relationships.
Not in relationships.
Yeah, because my mental state is like, Grace, we have to do it. We have to make ourselves feel like, Grace, this is Grace. Because it's like I've raised myself through all that. So what difference will you make if I give you an opportunity to date me? And what if you leave? Will I have to start like trying to work on my feelings, those
pick up the
heartbreaks
pieces
again?
and all those things.
So I have to take my life situationship. Now there's an economy situationship, and then your feelings in me.
So you cancel them before they even appear?
It's like, I'm normally told, it's like my first impression, when a guy is nice to me, I'm like,
This is a lie.
What do you want?
Okay. So we are in the same kind of bracket, but mine is different, kidogo, because of being told that I will ruin my life if I will get pregnant before I get married. And so my perfectionist thing is, you got to come with your story straight. So I push them away. So yours is because you're thinking, you're about to waste my time, then you're going to leave me. I've got too many pieces that I've been collecting to add you to the equation.
Imagine.
Nobody has ever broken through to make you feel safe. What does safety look like, actually? That's the question.
For me, safety, it's like when you're more like home, you're emotionally intelligent. You can communicate with me, right? And then it's like, I don't have to tell you what I feel. If you know me well, you get to know me, you should know how I feel about things, right?
Can I tell you that men say that is the biggest lie because they do not function like that? The men in the room will agree that, I know what you feel. How? When? When? They don't get it like that. They don't.
For me, I believe when you love someone, you literally know like every bit about that person. If I stay with you
long enough,
you'll know like,
there's something wrong with Grace.
There's something. Today she's good. Tomorrow she's not good. I don't have to spell it to you, right? It's like when you came into this relationship, you were ready to make it work. It's not about me like just one-way traffic. It's two-way traffic. And there's no way I'll take care of you and you don't take care of my feelings.
Okay, I see that. But what about, how do you see yourself as a woman in a relationship? Like, what do you see yourself being in the relationship? Because you've said it takes two. So there's what you're expecting of the man. But because you didn't have the correct mother figure experience,
Sure.
how do you view yourself and who you would be as a woman in a relationship?
I would be an amazing woman. Because trust me, raising this Grace
Yeah.
was a huge task.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a very huge task. So I know like what I should give.
Okay.
You know, it's like I can't just let that person be the only person that I desire. Like I also have things that I want to give. Like I love love.
Okay.
And I'm ready
that's
to give
good.
love.
That's good to know that you do.
And as much as I'm ready to give love, can I also get that love, right? So yeah, I'm ready. I'm already responsible. I'm responsible for my own feelings, for my own development. They say you as a person, you're a brand, right?
Yeah.
So me coming in there, I'm already a huge brand for you. So it's like they say there's something beautiful coming from a woman who knows where she's come from.
And who she is.
So
would you tell the person that you have relationship, fears, past traumas? Do you think that you would be able to share and open up to any man who became close enough and tell them that these are the things I fear? And because I fear them, one day you might see me just thinking, I'm going to run away because I'm not sure what's going on here. Because I think that's the part that I'm never too sure how much to share about what my trauma is. Because you sound like you really know who you are, and you understand what you've been through and who it's made you become, and some elements that just show up. Because I think trauma is goes in cycles.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll show up even when you didn't think it'll show up.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with sharing with a person who enters into your life in a relationship that, hey, this is something you need to know. This is what I've been through. And sometimes it may be ugly. Would you be open to
Why
sharing?
not?
Yeah?
Me, I normally say how it is.
Yeah?
Me, I'll just go straight, One thing is for sure. Me, I'll feel like you'll abandon me, which is 100%.
A fear.
That's a fear that I have. Another thing is like, maybe you'll take me for granted. Maybe you'll stick there, but you don't take me seriously. I'll say it outright. So the moment you see I'll be like, the moment you see I behave in this way, it's because I feel this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just find sometimes I don't say it. I just,
withhold and withdraw.
And just see how it goes. Will you notice or will it just go on? Because I tried that relationship.
Tell me about that.
My longest relationship was 3 months.
Good job. I'll say good job because let me tell you, when I listen to what you've been through, that took a lot for you to trust.
True.
Because trust that the person is not going to abandon you, mistreat you, because you've been mistreated, you've been abandoned. I think trust is so difficult when you've been through what you've been through. So 3 months, first of all, congratulations for making it that long. So tell us about the relationship.
Okay, it started as a joke.
Now, how did it start as a joke?
No, the guy came like, I like you, should we try? I just came straight from high school.
Okay.
All my friends had boyfriends, I was like, okay, let's try.
Oh, okay, because it's a thing.
It was, okay. Everyone wants to be called a girlfriend. So I wanted to be someone's girlfriend. So, I don't know how it progressed because honestly speaking, I didn't see any benefit from it. It was like just the name boyfriend. And then that habit of, you have to call me in the morning, you have to check up on me in the afternoon, you have to call me in the...
It's what couples do. What do you mean that habit?
No, for me, it was like you asking for too much because I already had things going on.
You have to, and that's a period where you are now also co-house manager.
Yeah.
So you had a lot on your plate.
Imagine I'm
and
managing...
then I have to call you and I have to make the baby eat and I'm afraid the baby will choke and die. What is this?
Ati, how did you sleep? I used to ask myself, like in Kiswahili quotes, kwani nimekubebea usingizi? Because before we
Okay, I have
met,
to translate to our audience because we have audience who listen to us across Africa. So she's saying, like, she'd wonder, did I carry the sleep for you? What do you mean, how did I sleep? Why are you invested in this? That's what she's asking.
so it was like, I found it like it took much of my time.
Okay.
And there was nothing that made sense there. It was just this guy I met.
Did you like him at least? Was he handsome and nice and easy on the eyes? Oh, God.
No, when you normally sit down and ask, what did I see? Because there was no feelings, there was no physical attraction, emotional attraction, nothing. It's because he said, like, be my girlfriend. I was like, oh, okay.
Whoever you are, I am so sorry. I really am. But understand, parental trauma is real.
But it's not bad. It's not bad. At least
You had an experience.
Yeah, I had an experience of what a boyfriend is like.
Yeah. Now I hope you know that it comes with calls. You're even lucky. You know how many girls are watching this and saying, guy, he used to ask you every day how you slept. Do you know us guys are just here waiting and the phone is not doing nothing?
No, so after that, I tried dating again. It didn't last a week.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Did you know this person as a friend before?
Yeah, we used to like play hockey together in high school.
Okay.
He was in Lenana school. I was in Mount Lavana. So during games we met.
Yeah.
We had an interest in games. We were more of friends.
Okay.
But when he said like we start dating, everything shifted. Because, as a friend, we share a lot.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, I told him, actually, I'm not like emotionally ready to be someone's girlfriend.
But he insisted.
He insisted, let's try. I gave him a try for a week. And then I was like, I gave you a try.
Can we go back to being friends?
We didn't actually go back to being friends. It was like, I'm good. So so I was like, okay. But what I've tried a lot is a lot of going on dates.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, getting to know guys.
Yeah.
They say you have to go on dates to get to know the type of a guy you want to have.
Right, yes.
Because I just can't say this is the kind of a guy
And
I
you've not
need.
met
and
them.
I'm just there. So I've tried several dates. You find, they have like,
Check all the boxes.
yeah, not all the boxes, most of the boxes.
Yeah.
But you find there's one that is very important
That is
not
missing.
checked. Yeah.
Okay, so you do have your non-negotiables. You know the ones that must be checked.
Yeah.
So what are the ones that must be checked for you?
Emotional intelligence,
Okay.
a good communicator,
Okay.
someone who, how can I say, they're like ready to share their own feelings. Because, I normally say I'm not the only person who has feelings.
And you're open about it. So
Yeah,
you want
I'm very
an open person.
about it, yeah.
Okay.
And then one thing is for sure that I normally say, just so you know, my mom died of HIV. I never hide it.
So do people like get shocked and want to run away?
Yeah, one guy that I liked, Kalekye, I liked this guy.
Until you
this guy.
said,
Yeah. He told me, did you infect me? I was like, who?
Wola. Hey, man, relax. First of all, did she say she's HIV
Now,
positive?
that's the hockey guy. That's why we never worked out.
He means his case had ended before it began. What do you
So
mean?
I was like, first thing I normally say, when someone tells you, tell me about yourself.
You lay it on the table.
Yeah, I lay it straight up. Hey, my mom died. Everyone died. I'm not an orphan though. I've taken care of myself, so I'm not using it as an excuse. And so, she died of HIV. Are you good with that? So it's always like, you find it's like a turn off for some guys. Another one will be like, it is what it is. But along the way, it's not what it is.
So, well, I have a question because, I mean, I don't know if leading with it immediately is too much. Maybe that's the lesson here. That maybe it's to say, you'll get to know more about my family and how I grew up. and that I lost my mom when I was young. And then you give it time, you see how the person is behaving before you.
No, I don't normally say on the first day,
Oh,
obviously.
I'm like, oh my God. Jehovah, come for me now.
No, I don't normally say on the first day. You know, we go on a date. I've gone for, lunch. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm there to eat.
She couldn't have been more honest. Okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, you've called me for a date. What for? Of course, it's for me to eat. Let's have a conversation as mature people. We'll see where it goes.
Right.
Then now after that, let's say we've talked for a couple of days to now it goes to like, tell me about your family. Of course, I'll tell you about my family.
Yeah.
Why
yeah,
lie?
Yeah.
So
And
that
it's good.
even if it works, don't say I never told you.
Yes.
And
yes.
take it against me, right?
Right. Okay. I
So
see
that's where most of the times it never goes
It never
far.
goes far.
Yeah.
So if you were today to advise somebody who has gone through what you've been through, losing a parent early and losing a parent in a way that is still seen as taboo and it's not your fault, and that they are battling with all this trauma, what would you advise someone at home on how to handle themselves in dating and life?
Look, me, I'll just tell you outright, it's not an easy job. They normally say it's the capability that you have. Sometimes I might say, you just do you, don't see it, struggle, it's okay. Sometimes it's never okay. I normally say it's okay to be okay.
Yeah.
But for you to actually be okay, find a way where life gives you tangerine. Take the bitter part of life, find something sweet about it. Because let me tell you, Kalekye, as much as I got abandoned by the family, I got rejected, I ended up having one good friend. And through that friend, I got a family.
Amen.
Like they say, blood is thicker. But mine
that
even water
friend
is thicker, man.
Yeah.
That one friend led me to her family. The mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, they love me. Like, when they take you in and there's no difference between you and the kids. It's like
something you
your
had never
older
seen.
sister.
And it's something you had never seen in people who are supposed to be your relatives.
Yeah, let me tell you, at first when I joined the family, I was scared.
Of course.
Because I was like,
They might just abandon me,
Yeah,
and they owe me
just-
nothing.
Yeah, and I was like, it's okay. But now, through time, it was like, it's amazing, Kalekye.
Nice.
That's where I actually got to experience love for the first time.
Now you have a better understanding.
Better understanding. I actually went to Oman through a friend. That time I was struggling. I found a friend, she's called Priska. I don't know where she disappeared to. She connected me to some company in Oman. Yeah, God is good. They paid the ticket. They paid, it's called a ticket,
And your
accommodation,
visa, everything.
and all that.
So you traveled.
I got Jobo.
Yeah.
I stayed there for over 4 years.
Wow.
I came back, she is what she is. Eh?
You took control of your life.
Yeah, and so that that friendship was actually strong. We communicated up to, that 4 years. It's normally like distance separates people.
Right.
But ours grew stronger.
Nice.
Because I was like, at first I was like, if I didn't have anyone, do you think I had a reason to come back?
No.
But now she was like, you need to come back. Opportunities open. So I came back. The family received me. Let me tell you, Kalekye, life is so amazing on my end.
That's so good.
That is where I celebrated my birthday for the first time ever.
Wow. With that family.
Kuimbiwa too, like singing for you, happy birthday to you. Hey, damn, it felt so good.
Nice. Nice.
I just remember it was on my 26th birthday.
Nice.
Damn. And yeah, when you sit down as a family, what do you want to do? I wanted to go back to school. So I was like, I've saved a bit of, the money that I had to go back to school. And then she was like, no, I have to also chip in, take you back to school. You have to finish.
So good.
There
so
in
good.
Kenya, I used to do environmental sciences, those ones, studies. But now I wanted to do psychology. Like,
Oh, so you actually went to learn something to help people.
yeah, because I felt they normally say there's someone who experiences something that is harder than what you've experienced. And what I experienced, it was no joke. So if there's someone who experienced like something worse,
You want to help.
I want to help because
Oh,
I
that's
had
so
no one
good.
to speak to.
That's so good.
My feelings were hurt. I reached to a point where I felt like, the
don't
world
need-
owns me nothing. So
Why do I need to be
yeah,
here?
and then I had no sister, no brother. At times I normally say thank God.
Because you'd have been having to worry about them going through the same.
Yeah, and maybe if they were older than me, maybe my life could have been a mess. I don't know, because it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then I also say, like, sometimes I'm always like, when we sit down, we laugh. We normally say, maybe my grandma dying because she was like the favorite person in my life. I like literally have all the memories of her, but other memories, they are not there apart from us. So we normally say, maybe if she could have been there, I could have been a brat. Maybe I could be in a jail,
Because
somewhere.
you were so spoiled.
I was spoiled. I was bad. Kalekye used to be a bully as a kid. I used to be a
Grace.
bully. But
I can't see you as a bully. I'm sorry. I can't. But
when
anyway.
you're the only grandchild, there's that power you have.
And nobody can tell you because she always yeses you and gives you what you want.
She used to beat me and say sorry.
Oh. So that's the person who you would say you miss the most.
Actually, the only person I miss because she's the only one I got to know.
Yeah.
Your
mom, you never got to know.
I didn't get to know her. My mom's sister,
you were still too young.
Yeah, I didn't get to know her well. I just used to call her mom. Now my grandma is more of my parent figure that time.
Yeah.
But now things changed. So I carried that memory with me till date.
And we thank God for that.
The problem is I have no photos. I don't know how I look
Don't worry.
So,
imagine, don't worry.
No, that's why I normally say that memory, it's like photography, right?
Yeah.
And I love it so much. I actually got a tattoo for her.
Oh.
The three of them. I normally say I need to remember that journey. And at the same time, I'm very grateful. Along the way, I met bad people. I met the greatest people. I met I made family along the way. So where I am right now, I'm in my happiest place. That's why I've been saying, like, dates I've gone to. Why? Because my emotional strength right now is at its peak, right?
And you can afford
I can afford to at least share my feelings with someone else.
That's really good.
Grace. So they say finding love is something important. That's what I've learned along the way. And for anyone who's like just, we normally say, after 25, you're no longer an orphan. Don't use it. Build yourself. It's called just suffer for you to at least figure out things. It's never easy. It's actually hard from our end. Because, there are people who say, on holiday, I'm going to see my mom. On holiday, I'm going to see my grandma. So we are like, who am I going to see on holiday? No one. So let me take that time to like figure things out for myself. Kalekye. I had so many choices by day. That time I was suffering. I could just use my body, find something to
thank
do.
The Lord.
Yeah, I could be a criminal somewhere.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I always sit down and say, oh, Grace, you're one blessed, amazing woman.
And the Lord loves you. I hope you know that. He really does love you because he has delivered you in certain places. Yeah. And Grace, I know we could talk forever, but we need to wrap this up.
Yeah,
we need to wrap this up. So thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share your story, being open enough and being strong enough. And from what you've told me before, this is a version that has healed and began the journey of healing.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that there is more healing, even for others who may feel, I don't know where to go. I don't have a friend like Lillian who has stood with me. Because Grace has shared that. We have a plan for you, and that is the Truth Encounter Coaching Services. They're there to help you figure out how is your parental trauma affecting you. And for Grace, it started with in the grave were all the people she loved, and then she met bad people. What's your story? You can share that with us by dropping us an email, conversationswithkalekye@gmail.com. And remember to reach out. Absolutely, you need to reach out to the Truth Encounter Coaching Services. You can email them, the Truth Encounter Kenya at gmail.com. There's also their phone number, which is going to be on your screen right there, so that you can reach out and get to just speak to somebody, get to be coached and find out what wound you're carrying and how you can develop a place of healing, because that's what it is. And as we speak of wounds, there is also this amazing book by the founder of the Truth Encounter, that is the lead coach, Agiso Duno. It's called The Mother Wounds, available at Nuria Bookstore for 1,500 only. You can see that on your screen. It's a really good read. Trust me, you will learn a lot, and you could even find healing just by starting to read that book. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. We are sponsored by the Truth Encounter Coaching Services as they guide us through this. And I'm sure they will be back to answer a few of your questions. If you have any, please drop them on email, conversationswithkalekye@gmail.com. And I would love to thank the guys who hooked me up with this amazing face beat. That is Delishful Service. Thank you so much. And my designers at Evolve Fashion for this amazing fit. Remember, we want to get to 10K. So you've got to subscribe and send this to a friend. Share. And make sure that you're following us on all our socials at Conversations with Kalekye. Until next time, please share with us your parental trauma. We'll try and get you the help you need. Take care.
Now